जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुना राधमाधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे जय विष्णुपाद परम परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शतवचन नारायण वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय हो। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गौर ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन कृष्ण नित्य जगन्नाथ अनंतराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समवेत भक्ति समवेत निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासा ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। वायोर्यमस्य मित्रस्य परिमोक्षस्य नारद निरुक्तेर्मृत्योर् स्य गुदं स्मृतः यमस्य मित्रस्य परिमोक्षस्य नारद निरुक्तेर्मृत्योर् निरयस्य गुदं स्मृतः वायुर्यमस्य मित्रस्य परिमोक्षस्य नारद हिंसाया निरुक्तोर् गुदं स्मृतः. The evacuating outlet of death of Mitra. Whole. The Nira Yasya of hell. Gudam Smritaha. Translation. O Narada, of the universal form of the Lord is the abode of the controlling deity of death, and the evacuating hole and the rectum is the place of envy, misfortune, death. Parabhuteradharmasya tamasyasmi pashimaha nadinam cha gotranam asti samstitaha. The back of the Lord is the place of frustration and ignorance for immorality. From his veins flow the great rivers and rivulets, and on his bones are stacked the great mountains. In order to defy the impersonal conception of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, a systematic analysis of physiological and anatomical constitution of his transcendental body is given here. It is clear from the available body of the Lord, which is his universal form, that the form of the Lord is distinct from the forms of ordinary mundane conception. He is never a formless void. Ignorance is the back of the Lord, and therefore ignorance of the less intelligent class of a man is also not separate from his bodily conception. Since his body is the complete whole of everything that way, that he is impersonal only. The perfection, the perfect description holds that he is both impersonal and personal simultaneously. The personal emanation is but the reflection of his transcendental body. The fortunate enough to have a view of Lord and realize his personal feature, whereas those who are frustrated and are thus kept on the ignorance side of the Lord, or in other words, those who have the view of the Lord from the back realize him in his impersonal feature. Om Jnana Nimirandana Nasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश कृष्णपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निधि नाम सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुगस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. O Narada, the evacuating outlet of the universal form of the Lord is the abode of controlling deity of death. The evacuating hole and a rectum and the evacuating and the rectum of the Lord is the place of envy, misfortune, death, and hell, etc. The Lord is the place for all kinds of frustration and ignorance, as for immortality, serenity. Flows the great rivers, and on his bones the stack the great mountains. So in two verses, the previous verse has explained about the genital of the particular form of a Lord, known as a birth. And now they are explaining about the Buddha or rectum of the Lord. It is said that that's the place of this Virata Purusha, where the Yamaloka is Yamaraj resides. And being an obedient servant of the Lord, he follows instruction as it is without any failure. It's like a 0% of error. And rectum is the place where envy, misfortune, death, and hell is. That's the location in the whole universal format. That's the place where they have this hellish planet. The back of the Lord is a place for all kinds of misfortune and evil. If someone turns his back towards Lord, then he never attains the peace of life or what the goal is supposed to achieve. Thing as explained here, because if someone turns away from the Lord and goes and stand behind him, then what is there at the backside of the Lord? It's explained here there is anger and misfortune and frustration is there. And whole immorality. It's a simple thing. When person he turns away from the Lord, then what happens? He loses all his potency. Being a part and parcel of the Lord, if he leaves the touch of their Lordship, then he becomes immoral. He becomes impatient because he becomes the slave of material energy. Energy constitutes of mode of witness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So once the prevailing living entity, if he neglects to take shelter of the Lord, then definitely he takes shelter of the mind. External. In this material world, whoever has come, they all have to accept someone's. So the person who accepts the control of Lord's internal potency, he gets rid of this material world. And the person who takes shelter of the Lord, what we thought about first, which energy of the Lord. And if someone takes shelter of the Lord's internal potency, then he has to go back home. So if you have taken a birth, definitely here take shelter of Lord's internal potency or external. Most of the impersonalists, they consider that Lord is formless. But after all, hearing all these details, it seems that intelligent. How they can prove that Lord is impersonal? In one sense, it's okay that Lord is only Earth's prakash, light. But that is the effulgence of their Lordship. That means Lord has his own form. He is a person. He is not at all. The one who knows this perfectly, then he attained a peaceful mind. Otherwise, that person into pieces because he is not able to understand what is spiritual. And what is this whole purpose of his own existence? What he has to do to get rid of this material. So, any question and comment on this particular? Uh, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Goswami Srila Prabhupada. We like to hear him, hear about him. There's a nice book called Ray of Vishnu, where they have given life story of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. As we have discussed in our Bhagavad Gita class regarding mentions that how his spiritual master and he is blessed to get such a wonderful parent who has trained them since their childhood. Especially Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was the great son of great father. Srila Satyananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, when he was staying in Jagannath Puri, and he was the superintendent of the Jagannath Puri temple. He was looking after the whole management of that. During that time, he thought some assistant to preach the life and perception of Lord Chaitanya. For that reason, he prayed to their Lordship to bless him with a son who can come forth and assist his father. And that was the desire of a pure devotee, so Lord has to fulfill it. So Mother Bhagavati, wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, on the auspicious day of Maghamas, month of Masa, month of Maghamas, and today is the day when she delivered a baby boy. The most important thing is that we have to understand no one can become a pure devotee or very advanced person just by taking birth in a very aristocratic family. It is more to understand that it was the practices that that particular living entity has performed in his previous lifetime, which made him to take birth in such a aristocratic and Shuchinam family. So when Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur was born, he born with the sacred thread. His umbilical cord was wrapped around his body in such a way that it was looking like a sacred thread. Since childhood, he had a great inclination towards the discourses given by his father. He used to sit each and every discourses with his father to hear it. He was a child of 1 or 2 months. That time Ratha Yatra festival was going on. Then the heart of Lord Jagannath came and stood in front of the house of taking advantage of that moment, Mother Bhagavati, she came along with a Vimal Prasad. That was the name, childhood name of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. She came along with that beautiful boy and she kept that boy at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. As soon as she kept it, one lotus garland fell upon his body from Lord Jagannath. So Lord has recognized that his person whom he has sent to this material world has come with purpose and mission in his life. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was known as a Vimala Prasad. He was a very excellent student. He was like a Shrutidhar. Once he heard it, that's it. No need for him to repeat it. That was the photographic memory he used to have. And because of such a wonderful capabilities, he were able to sort out the court cases movement. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur once so happened that someone brought mangoes in house. So Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur, being a small child of 4 years, he went, he took one mango, he ate. And when Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharshi saw that, he asked him, not eat things which is not offered to the Lord. If you want to have it at all, then you should first offer it to the Lord, and then you should. That day, at the age of 4, he decided that throughout life he will never eat mango. He did follow. He considered himself as a offender to their lordship, because without offering them a food, he was. So at the age of 16, he was chosen as a chairperson for the astrology in Kolkata University. And he was leading that department at the age of 16. He wrote the commentary on Surya Siddhanta. And it became so famous, British government made him a chairperson for this particular subject. Then the same personality used to always get absorbed in hearing his own father, Bhaktivinoda. He was a very great and prominent acharya of that time. So as he was preaching the Lord's glories, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to sit and hear them from the mouth of his Guru. And as Bhagavatam says that when you associate with the pure devotee of the Lord definitely hears that thing. He fulfills whatever desire that pure devotee. And just to start that, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to study all his father's books, make books. As he grown and finished his education, the king, he called him up and asked him to stay there and make understand his own son about the Vedic system. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did it very excellently. There used to have one British nun, and she used to teach that boy English. But this small child, he was interested to learn it from no, the son of that king. To train him, there used to be one nun from London, and she used to train that boy in British royal behavior. When she used to look at Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, once she wrote a letter to their institute where they used to get trained in London in that one particular royal behavior. So she wrote back to that church that I have seen a person who is better than the Britishers in his behavior or royal sports. He is better than the Britishers. That was her remark for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He was a very scholarly person. He used to always absorb his mind in reading books written by his father, Father wrote 125 books in different five languages. More he used to get engrossed in reading about that. By seeing that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was so happy. So one day what happened? In Midnapur, there was a great assembly of all the Brahmanas. And they invited Bhaktivinoda Thakur to come and address them. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur was physically sick that time. So he was not able to go there. So he asked Vimal Prasad, you go and address the whole that assembly. Different members who came from the different parts of the society, they came and they started explaining about the glories of the Brahman. So when the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's turn came, he started about of the wonderful qualities that Brahmana, like who has taken birth in a Brahmana family, so what qualities he possessed, and very nicely he explained about. And the assembled Brahmanas, they become so happy. They started appreciating him like anything. After narrating for 3-4 hours, then he started with glorifying Vaishnava. Irrespective of their caste and creed, Vaishnavas always superior to any class of women. They are superior to Brahmanas, they are superior to Kshatriyas, they are superior to everyone. And then these Brahmanas, they heard, they felt totally bad. Because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that time gave so wonderful lecture that is available in the book format. And that book is known as the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote so many. His poetry book is called as Vaishnava King, where he asked wonderful question to a person who is practicing Vaishnavism. That who is Vaishnava? What are the characteristics? How one should take association of the Vaishnava? He gave his commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. He established 64 Gaudiya Matas for the length and breadth of Bharatvarsha to preach and propagate about the wonderful glories of Lord Chaitanya. Because of his scholarship and his dedication to his father's or his dedication towards his father, he became very famous for his scholarship. When he used to go and visit different places, the Mayavadis from that place, they used to run away from there. They used to get scared because he used to smash them down. Once he was at his ashram in Kolkata. They were sitting on the terrace. Then two young boys, they entered the place where he was sitting. And as soon as they come, they offered pranams. And looking at one of these two boys, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ordered that person, you know English and you speak English well. So why don't you take this task and go to the Western world and preach about Lord Chaitanya? Then he quoted from Janma, Janma Sarthaka Kari Karap Paro. If you have taken birth in the Bharat Varsha, then you should perfect your life. by doing paropkara, for working for the other people's. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a very revolutionary saint in his era. He was very straightforward for establishing the devotional cult, which has, or the mission of Lord Gauranga. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was at Vrindavan, he went for a Brajamandal Parikrama. His sannyasi disciple, they were traveling all over places. He had a Radha Kund. And that time, he's supposed to give lecture for whole day. And the parikrama that day supposed to go to Sheshashai and take darshan of Lord Ananta, who is uh, Narayana, who was taking rest on Ananta. And it was really far away from Radhakund. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave her two options. Whoever wants to go for darshan, they can go, and whoever wants to hear about the wonderful pastime about the Lord, they should sit. Then almost all his disciples, they left that place and they went to see darshan of that. But one person was patiently sitting there and hearing. And the person who was hearing that, he was telling that it was very difficult for me to understand his Bengali, because his Bengali was so high class. The terminology that he was using, it was very difficult for common man to find in the dictionary. So that time he told his disciples that I will not come down for your sake, but you should raise yourself and attain this position like a mango. Get this knowledge. Very so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in 1932, once again he was at Radhakund, and Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, again on the bank of Radhakund, Prabhupada gave him instructions that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave him instruction that whenever you get money, just print books. That's what the desire of his spiritual master, the of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhupada decided that whenever he will get money, he will print the book, and he did it. Because of that mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, we are here. He had a tremendous faith in his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Maybe in the noon, we'll discuss more about his other pastimes. They're really wonderful. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Sorry? Huh? Appearance. What happened? That will explain in the noon, and we'll speak about it. बनाया ना?